See, guys, this is why you got to keep good people around, because they're going to keep you on straight every single time. Besides, tonight was not about me. Tonight is about our amazing team and this speaker that I am bringing. And I am going to also share, after he is finished with giving you guys the lowdown on what it takes to build an empire. You guys, let me tell you something. I need you to get your pens and your papers out now. I need you guys to get your attention fully, because here's the thing, is that we have money and cryptocurrency to represent one thing and one thing only: an energetic transaction. Okay, is a physical representation of an energetic transaction. And right now, what you pay attention to is what pays you. And so I'm going to invite you to make some more kingdom deposits into the bank of your mind with some knowledge blueprints from King Key tonight as he drops the truth to you. And then we're going to get you plugged in to what it is that we have got going on. Because let me tell you something, if you don't have someone in your life, okay, if you don't have someone in your life or something going on that is going to change your life, not only financially, okay, not only financially, but spiritually, but mentally, emotionally, all the things that you could ever think of are going to be introduced to you over the next 90 days. I told someone last night, we were talking, I said, you know what? I kind of feel like a magician, because me and Monique, we remember what it was like to be here last time. Me and Vita, we remember what it was like to be here last time. Michaela, they all went through the process of this come up, and we all went and saw and experienced the magic. And it was like going to Disneyland for the first time. And now we get to usher you guys through that experience of that financial gain and that financial independence. But there are even more people that have come alongside us that are stepping up to contribute their knowledge, their wealth of knowledge, that are stepping up to contribute their fun tools and their experience. Like King Key, he's going to show you guys something tonight that literally has the most ridiculous abilities to see things in the market that people, and this is what we do for fun. This is our fun. So welcome to a whole new world, a dazzling place you never knew, or maybe you do and you want to get to know it better. And I want to say, you guys, thank you so much for showing up. Congratulations. Again, I see you for committing. I see you for committing to your 90 days. We do have some housekeeping we're going to go do after King Key shares. But first, I'm going to hand over host Jermaine. And are you ready to get started? If he's getting ready, I can do an intro really quick. I'm just going to hand you host.
So Monique says, what it takes to build an empire. You want to start there?
Yes, King.
All righty. Well, peace and blessings, everybody. Um, who I am right now doesn't really matter, but what I do want to share with you guys is focus on your transformation, right? This was me at a point where I only knew one thing. That thing was, even though life is tough, because you can kind of see it looks like an eviction, that's because it is. All right. So even though life was tough at a certain point, and I knew I was going through that point, I told the future, okay, you're gonna go this way. Like, I know you happen like this, but look, we're gonna take it a whole nother direction, all right? And the game ain't over until I win. And so if you're in a place and you're in transition, right, and you know, okay, cool, I'm going through some things, the future is brighter. If you're in that future is brighter mode, this is the secret. The secret is you have to be your future self today. That was the mental shift that I made before I go into building an empire. I mean, you're the one who's going to build it, right? So we have to talk about you first. At the end of the day, you're going to have to look yourself in the mirror. And the thing is, a lot of people are waiting for someday. Like, someday I'll be good enough. Someday, one day I'll get there. Someday I'll 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 have this amount of money. You can just start from there. You can just start from someday, and then every step that you take past someday, it will pull the future closer to you. If you guys like that, go ahead and drop a hot one, because we're getting ready to light up the house. We're going to talk about how to actually build empires, and from the standpoints of actually having done it, right? I want you guys to know that one. Game ain't over till I win. Exactly. All right. Let's jump into some value. So we're going to talk about empiric ecosystemization. What is that? It's a fancy word for, well, the word empiric comes from empire, right? And so if you know anything about empires, they're not necessarily, no one refers to anything small as an empire, right? So this kind of knowledge came from cultures much older than our own, like the Egyptian cultures, which most people don't know. A lot of things like police and barbers and bowling came from those societies. Nothing new under the sun, right? So empires are big. Now, ecosystemization, that's a word that basically means having a system, right? And the first thing you want to know about when you're building an empire is you got to be systematic, right? So there's usually two types of people. There's those who whatever they do so from theory, and then there's those who they came from practice. So the first thing about building empires is you have to know that you're gonna get your hands dirty, right? You're gonna have to be observant. You're gonna have to get some experience. You're gonna have to experiment. I use the word experiment instead of taking action because a lot of people say, "Oh, just take action on what?" They never really tell you on what. What is the thing that's going to make a difference? So I'm going to name those things for you. And in terms of business, in terms of making a lot of money, what everybody's trying to get to is these two things. These are the things that if all you did was focus on these two things right here, you would have an empire, right? I've used some of these same things I'm about to share with you to build organizations of 20,000 plus, right? So these two things, you want to write them down: exposure and exchange. Exposure and exchange, right? What's the difference between a Madonna, a Oprah, a Tyler Perry, Tiger Woods, anybody famous, your favorite artist, right? Your favorite basketball player, your favorite football star, and the average person? Well, they have, well, what do we say in our language? We say they're famous, right? They're more exposed. They're more exposed. That's it. So in throughout your whole entire business, exposure is going to be your number one best friend. There's nothing that exposure cannot cure. And what's the point of exposure? We're not just exposing the exposed, right? We want to create an exchange. In your case, that exchange would be bringing them to Megan, bringing them to the cause, bringing them to the leaders. And if you're confident, then exposing to the opportunity. Megan, I wanted to just bring you out. Do you have anything to add? And also, what's the time constraint so I know how fast or slow to move?
There's no time constraint. These people are here because they want their lives to change, not because they're in a hurry. So we're gonna come and soak up all the value. I'm here and I'm here to support, and I'm so excited. I got my pen and my paper, and I've been waiting for this for a long time. So let's go. Like,
This is like candy in the candy store, ain't it? You guys, I don't want to speed through this because a lot of people they talk at people. I want to talk with you guys. Does anybody see? Go ahead and type in the number two. If you can see how, if all you did was get better at exposure and get better at exchanging, if you make a whole lot more money. If you can see it, and type in like three if you have any doubts and you want me to go into it, because I have some stuff for you guys, but one brick at a time. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna build a big house. I'm writing down all the things we can do. We can go all night. We want all to go. So three if you guys are good. Well, two if you guys are good. Three if you want me to break it down. Does everybody understand exposure and exchange?
Yeah, you don't need to exchange anything.
Someone says three. What do you think, Megan? Should we
I
go
think
with
I think he I think he wants to know how to get a little bit more exposure. I know Nahush. I know what his goals are, his aspirations. He wants to be a big, big influencer. He wants to change the world. And so he probably wants to know a few keys on how he can have more exposure so he can have more exchanges. What do you guys think? Does it sound good that we go in and get a little bit more of exposure tonight on how we can have more exposure and get some more exchanges? Drop some fire in the chat if that's what you'd like to hear about tonight. I think they have spoken. What do you think?
so exposure? I'll go into a quick dissertation on exposure. So when it comes to exposure, I think of fishing, right? I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna use Facebook as an example because it's kind of hilarious. So the thing is, a lot of people fish in dry pools. I'll show you guys some stuff I probably shouldn't be showing, but some ninja stuff. Back in the day, we used to run Facebook ads, right? And I'll show you how we used to do it briefly. we used to target pages with massive amounts of exposure. So I literally, so it looks like a dummy page, right? Like you think that there was nothing here. And on the videos, when we used to target, it doesn't, you can do this if you use free traffic, pay traffic, but I want to make a point. If you want to grow your business, you need to know how to tap into tons and tons and tons of people, right? So this was, so we had entire teams, like we used to run operations in real empires back in the day. We used to literally have like people on our teams make videos, and then we used to run the videos as ads, and as you can see, exposure used to go crazy. Now, you know, when most people target a thing on Facebook, let me tell you how they do it. They target like some dead page or something, like they'll target something like entrepreneur, right? This should be a very clear example. So they might target like entrepreneur. Now, even though it says 3 million people there, I'm gonna show you guys a trick. There's only 4 people who like what they post. So that technically wouldn't be classed as exposure, right? It's like a desert over here. I mean, they got 3 million people on a page, but they're only reaching 14. So what we used to do, I'll use an example like Rihanna. I know they tell you about target markets, but uh, sometimes people can be converted later. Now let's look at Rihanna's post. She has over 232,000 people on a post. So imagine finding a business influencer or even a business page or even a page that's not necessarily centered around people, but it just has posts that talk about the kind of things that you're aligned with. What's going to end up happening is you're going to strike gold. So if you have, if you are doing things kind of manually, let me see if I can find an example for you guys. It's more targeted. If you guys are doing things manually and you find a page like that, technically you can add those people as friends. And then now your only job is to put your best foot forward and make sure that you can show them why you're a leader.
You can use my page, Jermaine.
I had a specific example, but
Okay,
okay.
that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, let's do that though. Let's do that too. I'm gonna pull that up, but I wanted to show people how to just kind of tap into friends and just know how to use that if I have it up handy. Not. Okay. Yeah, I found it. So check this out, guys. This
Screen
is
share.
yeah, yeah, I know. Just pulling it up. I have like 1,000 photos on the display, so I wanted to zoom in on one. But basically, that was the secret. Go to where people are. The biggest secret in network marketing and this kind of industry, and I'm about to share my screen, is that a lot of the people who are doing well, especially when I was building teams at the beginning, what did we do? We recruited networks. We didn't recruit one person at a time. And I didn't even think of it as recruiting. That's a whole nother thing. It's definitely not recruiting. I would take the consultant route. I would find everything I needed to know about, and this is heavy. You definitely want to write this one down. Know your market. If somebody's joining an opportunity, it's because they want more money. I didn't have money back then. I had financial literacy. So you know what I did? I made them more financially literate. I taught them why the plan was a good idea before I showed them what the plan was. I taught them how money worked and then said, here's what I'm doing. Would you like to work with me? But anyway, pertaining to adding people, notice this is a page. It says, let's level up so hard that they have to get to know you again. There was 9.4 thousand people on that post, and 4,000 people cared enough to share it. So what do? You add, you basically click on the leads and you see, oh, 5,000 people liked it, but 3,000 people loved it. Okay, let me click on the people who really, really love it. And then what happened? The first thing I see is a guy called Dom Paper Chase. He's probably into money. Let me send him a friend request. So you guys are welcome. But that's how pretty much you can find people. Like they're gonna be qualified and more serious than someone off of just a random post. Why? Because look what the post says. It's talking about leveling up. You're not gonna like that post unless you're in level up mode or you're about to level up. And that is the beautiful thing about social media. So yeah, hopefully that helps on exposure. You definitely want to find where people are If you see, like when people go to churches, churches are filled with people. When people go to clubs, clubs are filled with people. When people are listening to the radio, people promote on the radio because they know tons of people are listening. So if you keep asking yourself, where is a ton of people that I feel like will resonate with me, and how can I get exposure to them? If you really focus in on that, I think that anybody's going to be able to grow their business. And so here's some ways. Reviews, giving gifts on the internet. Like, hey, if you want this free gift, come check this out. You give them the free gift and then some information, and so they get the free gifts from you, and then they get information from you. Challenges, that's another way. So you can definitely issue some challenges. I've seen some pretty toxic challenges out there on the internet land, like let's set ourselves on fire challenge, right? And let's share this garbage content challenge, right? You can start a money challenge. You can start a financial literacy challenge. It gets fun. Let me give you an example of that. One time, me and my young 19-year-old protege, we were talking about this concept called ABC Wealth Club. So literally, we started with A is for assets, B is for business, C is for capital. Keep it going, and then everybody starts jumping in with their financial stuff, right? So imagine you post on social media and that thread goes crazy. Let's see what you know about finances. That's who you want to talk to about your business, right? My like too lit. Should I slow down? And also, who needs mute? Okay.
Yeah, we got some mute. There
Yeah.
we go.
Hmm. How we doing? I know it's a fire hose of information. I should slow down. Is everybody good?
Oh, we're loving it.
Everyone is so silent. Like I've never heard a group this quiet. Wow, wow,
Loving it.
wow. You guys good? Should I
We're
slow
paying
down? Should I speed up?
attention.
We're paying our attention.
You
Oh,
can
sorry.
speed up.
Speed up. Okay. Sorry, we're paying attention. Gotcha.
Let's
Gotcha.
go.
Targeted leads for the win. Right. Because no one ever answers that question. Like, how annoying, right? Well, there we go. We got some real answers. So let's talk about exposures. Exposure is all about what they want to pay attention to. So talks, games, game plans. Like a lot of times Megan uses game plans. Hey guys, here's the game plan. Here's what we're doing. Here's why we're doing it. And here's what we're doing for the next 90 days. Game plans. Because they break the ice. Art and music. A lot of music is a good way to break the ice. If you share good music or do good music or you do art, a lot of the sciences, when people love formulas, here's 4 steps to this, and did you know about this, and anything with a formula, right? Formulas include, like for example, off the top of my head, assets minus liabilities, or assets more than liabilities equals wealth. Assets less than liabilities equals poverty. You can do stuff like that, and people are always interested in that. Histories like entrepreneur histories, stories of people who went through trying times but made it. A lot of those kinds of things get exposure, and people love rags to riches stories. So if you share one on social media, someone's gonna like it the minute they do. You're in a conversation. Why would you not talk to them right then and there? Because they're right there then and there, right? So if someone likes your post, they're probably on social media, right? So why not business opportunity? It's okay to wait and date, before you ask for the plate. You don't need to do that. You can just, hey, how you doing? How's life? Okay, what do you do for a living? Is everything going well? Hey, if I had this thing that I heard about that can make a lot of people a lot of money, would you be open to hearing about it? Or is everything good for you financially, and do you not need any financial assistance in the worst time in history in America? You know? No. Anything to help with the kids is probably what you're gonna get. And now you can, do what you usually do. Take them to a leader, break things down, send a presentation. So that's the first step to building an empire, right? You definitely want a powerful growth machine, one that focuses on exposure. That's that. The next key is a clear focus system, right? So when you're on a clear focus system, this is a system that reminds you. So in my communities, we're focused on, so most people are talking about make 6 figures, make 7 figures, sustainability, sovereignty. Like, can we survive if there's no food in Walmart? Right? What if you went to Walmart and all the stations, all the ATMs were missing pretty much. This is a real crypto story. All the ATMs were missing. Some of the cash was taken out of them, and people were trapped in the country, needed to travel. They needed to send Bitcoin. Could you imagine having all your money in the banks and then you can't even access the ATMs and the whole country's in war? That's real. So they sent the money in Bitcoin. So I'm telling stories like that. Like, hey, do you guys know how to survive without the system? Right? And most people don't. Right? So safety, survival, and sustainability are also good ways to go into. So talking about safety, talking about sustaining yourself, how's your money? Boom, it's an easy segue in there too. So whatever you're doing, however you're building, because this will work for any organization. You know, the military's organization is to get lethal combat. The church's organization is bring people to God, right? That you have to be clear on your focus system, and then you want people reminded as much as possible. You want to remind yourself as much as possible, right? In your phone, in on your wall, on your mirror, on your car dashboard, in your subconscious mind, everywhere. You want to tattoo your goals on you and remind yourself as often as possible in your speech. Find the friends that will let you, let you talk and let you be believed in, right? Find the people who you can talk to them all day and it doesn't sound like bragging. They're like, I know you're going to do it. Clear focus system. Number 3, this one is powerful. So every single major organization, from probably the military to, like I said, the church, fast growing organizations, a lot of the college outreaches, a lot of the Navy branches, they all follow this model. So the first thing they do is they discover talent, right? They call it scouting. So a lot of times, imagine you were the all-star team, right? Imagine you were going for an audition to be on the Lakers or your favorite basketball team. Imagine you were Kobe Bryant, but you wasn't on the team yet. So you want to look for the Kobe Bryants. You want to look for the LeBron Jameses that haven't been discovered. And it's even better if you find them when they don't know that they're that. But you can kind of see it. You nurture the talent. And so you might be that person. You might say, I'm a diamond in the rough. I know I'm destined for greatness. That might be you. And it's probably how you got here, right? To be honest, you want to call out to those people. You want to connect with those.
How many of you felt connected to what he just said? I want to see a 777 in the chat if you felt connected to the person he was just calling out to. Because that's when you know who you want to bring into your reality, and when you know what you want to bring into your reality, you can easily turn yourself on as a beacon, and you start to tell those things that you're online to accept those things. And so I want to encourage you guys tonight, if you have just resonated with what was just said, drop that 777 and claim it, because that's a sign from God himself that you were on the right track and that you found the right place to be at the right time. Thank you, King K, for that. I'm gonna hand the mic back to you.
Polishing that diamond in the rough, but then we're also our inner diamond. This was a trick that you can't learn on social media. Like, somebody has to literally highlight it or you have to discover it. A lot of the times I was on social trying to figure out what in the world am I gonna post, and nothing sounded right. Every time I posted, I just wanted to throw up or delete it, right? And then I started talking to myself, like, and I'm so serious, like, it's not even a joke. I started really talking to myself, and people started responding. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I know it's like far fetched, Watch. I was amazed. Hilarious. Mm, so as I started talking like this, let's see. I think actually I did find it. Yep. So as I started talking, look, fake it till you make it doesn't work in 2021. You have to be the real deal. I wasn't talking to anybody. I threw a fist emoji up on a business page, right? But people really started like they were telling themselves the same thing. So I'm like, okay, I wasn't talking to them though. I was talking to me. And some people were even like perfectly said, they were like, you were talking to me on one of these posts. Someone literally said you were talking to me, right? Like literally talking to them. So that's how you do it, guys. You don't post, at people. You start a conversation. I don't think I have anything else to say here. Okay, cool. And by the way, here's another, since we're talking about exposure, here's obviously another status, which you've probably seen, but it works. When you're talking about heavy financial stuff, people just tend to be drawn to financial stuff. So it's like, I see a lot of people start a business and then they talk about dogs and cats, which is fine, but in a business context, it's not the most effective. So back to back to the discovery phase. When you're posting, post to the version of yourself that you currently are. So if I was posting, I would say, like right now, if I was in this moment and I was trying to encourage myself to do a great job on this call. Hopefully, I'm doing a good job for you guys. I would say speak like there's 10,000 people present, but I would also say get so lost in the process. Don't be reserved. I would also say, uh, lose all presence in service to others and service to many leads to greatness kind of thing. And I would really post it, but in that energy. And whoever is there in that moment, they're gonna like it, they're gonna love it. I was just thinking that. And you know why? Because we're all connected. That's why. They were just thinking that because you were just thinking that because he was just thinking that because she was just thinking that. But because nobody said it, instead of you guys interacting and talking about greatness and then becoming a part of your team, I used to tell people, they used to say, Mr. Key, how did you do it? How did you build those big teams? I said, I would build a team before I found the companies. I would really do that. I would really be on some art of giving back. I'm about to put everybody onto everything that I know. I was known for that. They called me Mr. Value. So I wasn't selfish. It's like this. If you have the cure to somebody's financial cancer, why would you not share it? You're gonna let them die? That's on your hands. You could have did something about it and made yourself rich in the process. What is there to wait for? Right? And so that was my attitude. It was just like this. If I know for a fact that I have something good, I'm telling everybody. And that's it. That's the energy. Because if you walk up timid, like they're almost gonna be like, "Well, who are you? What you trying to sell me?" But if you walk up with a big old grin on your face, they're like, "Man, I haven't been that happy in a while. I want to know why are you so happy? Because of hope. Because I see something. I see a way out. I see a better way. I see a brighter future. I see something that could help you too." And you get to say that with all the conviction in your heart and not even have to worry because the people behind you are going to catch them. You don't have to be the sauce. You just have to know where it's located. Somebody write that down because it's the truth. You don't have to be the sauce. You just have to know where it's located. And the fact that you know where it is and they don't, that's the reason to smile bigger than everybody else in the room. That's the secret to discovery. You don't have to be fake. Be you. Hey, did you know I found something cool? Did you know I think it's gonna make me rich? You want to hear about my ridiculous plan that's not so ridiculous after all, is it? It's could you imagine you can start infinite conversations. In fact, you don't even have to start a conversation about business. You can talk about anything. Let's go back to the cats. If you want to talk about cats, here's how I would do it. Start a cat channel on YouTube, post about your cat's adventures and say, by the way, these cats can get expensive if you want to know how to pay for it. If you want to learn how I've been feeding my cats a little bit better than other neighborhood cats. If you want to know what me and my cats have planned for our retirement, get in contact. All right. And then the development is just teaching them how to do what you did. And the deployment is actually sending them out to do it. And so what I would do a lot of the times when I was building dynasties, I would send people out. I would give them a thing to do. And by the time they're out doing something, and by the time they get back to me, I'm busy doing something else. My job as a leader was to finish the thing I had to do next before they came back to me. So when they come back, they're like, I did the one thing, and you're like, I've completed like 17. Well done, young master. And you're like, what the heck? Why would I do that? Because if you train them to be young masters, if you train them to be leaders, if you train them to think ahead, if you train them to not be dependent, they're going to try to catch up, but they're only going to do what they see you do. What you do is going to duplicate, right? Be the leader that you would want to follow in your business. When I would go to my, like, I remember being 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Now you guys know how old I am, right? And so my birthday is in like a month. So check this out. Around my birthdays, every time me and my teams, we would go to these travels and we would do these calls and these blitz sessions. And people would watch me move and they're like, wow, how come you close like everyone? And I would always tell people, because I would treat people like people, because they feel my energy and I'm not necessarily trying to sell them, right? Because you know the whole thing about people hating to be sold, but they love to buy if it's going to benefit them. And I would also tell them some very advanced things like matching and mirroring. Like if I was talking to a person, I was like, what's up, bro? And he said, hey, buddy, I would change my bro to buddy, because that's the language he's comfortable with. And I think I remember Megan saying this not too long ago. People never forget how you make them feel. And also, you know, they love you for how much of themselves they can be in your presence. Could you imagine a person feels completely at home when talking to you? If you're relaxed, they'll be relaxed. That's the secret to creating connection. People are connecting with your values. So I wouldn't need to really, it wasn't hard recruiting anybody into anything, because the energy was always on some, hey, I'm genuinely checking on you. What are your goals, so I can care about your goals too? Because if I care about your goals, it's the same thing as caring about you. Because, and if I'm naturally going through life and I find something that can help you get closer to your goals, I'm going to shoot it over to you, and that's a positive experience. That's another reason to connect at a future date. So if I actually do have something good, but I'm living my life in that way, I'm going to have a ton of connections. Now, if I get strategic and only talk to people who are in my lane and interested in my lane, it's even better when it comes to business, because now they're going to do it. So, discovering people, you know, you ever read a story like in the Bible where it talked about the great teacher walking up to people and saying, follow me? Don't, you know, imagine walking up to grown men and women and saying, follow me. Now I know why they followed, because when people see you progressing, they're looking at themselves, they're looking at you, they're measuring you and your progress against them and their progress. If you happen to be somebody that knows something they don't, if you happen to be somebody who they perceive is further along the journey, and if you happen to be somebody who can demonstrate that you have what they desire, it almost doesn't matter what you say to them. And that's the key to really being like magnetic in real life. So then key number 4, you want to look for new places to conquer. So, for example, there's some niches that have never heard of financial literacy. They've never heard of cryptocurrency. They've never heard of making money outside of their job. If you find a group of those types of people, offline, online, imagine you were at a salon and you heard people talking about finding a side gig other than hair, and you were the only, there was 5 people in there, but you were the only person who knew about making money, and you mentioned cryptocurrency, someone's going to say, girl, I heard about that, tell me more. And you're going to say, well, there's this thing, and don't do that. Don't start with there's this thing and talk about the company. You say, well, did you know that crypto is replacing the banks? Now you just learned one fact. You can take that, you can write it down, and use the same script to work. Did you know that somebody escaped the war in Ukraine by sending money in Bitcoin for a car? Did you know Wendy Williams' bank account got shut down, but if it was in crypto, they couldn't have touched it? These are true things, facts and stories. So And then they're like, no, 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 wow. And did you know that somebody put $100 in the Bitcoin and it turned into 60,000, 60 billion, 60 million? Okay, sign me up. Okay, cool. I have something that's designed to collect. You see how it's like one thing leads to another. So you want to find vast markets in places that have not been tapped yet. You know, any topic known to man is let's say I played the piano, which I do, and I wanted to make a YouTube channel called uh, Financial Keys and Piano Keys, or Piano Keys and Finance or something, right? If I made a channel called Piano Keys and Finance and I was really playing the piano, then talking about finances, it's different, it's unique, it's combining one or two more concepts. And then it's like, if they like music, I can connect with that. If they like the financial stuff, I can connect with that. And if imagine a whole market of people, right? Just to show you guys how some of these other niches work. Because you can use these niches to start conversations, right? I'm going to just type in piano and I'm going to type in, what was his name? His name was, forgot. There's people on YouTube though. Jermaine Griggs, that's who it was. So check this out. There's channels with 417,000 views on a video. So imagine all of these people, right? They're here technically for piano, but I'm playing the piano, so I'm relating to the niche because that's what they want. And then I'm talking about crypto, keys in crypto. Like that's crazy. Imagine me doing some neo soul, singing about why crypto's the future. Like that's gonna blow up. Why? Because nobody's doing it. And so you can talk about whatever you want. You can use whatever top. You can do hair and money, hair and crypto, hair and anything. You can whatever your favorite topic is, parenting and profits, and you just do your thing because people are always looking to discover something new, and that's how you fish in a pond that's different from everybody else. So so find a new market and hand out information like they used to do back in the day. They used to hand out these little scarabs and tablets and stuff. And people would marvel, how did you get the figures in the tablets? And then what do they mean? And they would break them down and boom. So yeah, pick different niches, build monuments in your niches. A lot of the modern day musicians and artists, they figure this out. A modern day monument is like a song. Like a song can stand the test of time. Those monuments, people come to appreciate beauty in life. Is your work beautiful? That's a question to ask yourself. Are you just throwing anything out there, or are you really creating works of art? You guys probably think I'm speaking, this is my art. Ha. That's a secret. It's fun, right? So you have empiric, ecosystemization. When it comes to building an empire, a lot of the ancient people, they launch these military campaigns. Whatever you're going to do in life, whether you're working out, whether you're hitting your goals, whether you're trying to get closer to your spouse, your loved one, your kids, or just business, launch a campaign on that thing. If you're serious about chasing wealth, imagine you're in a war and wealth is right in front of you and you're standing like there, like this is Sparta with the bow and arrow drawn, right? You're not going to fire one arrow and stop and walk away, are you? No, you're going to take up all the arrows out of the back of the little thing that carries the arrows. You're going to pull every single thing you got until your enemy is gone. And that's how I want you guys to treat your goals. Don't launch one campaign, explode, right? Lean in and move until your target is no more. And when you guys learn to do that with your goals, I'm not just gonna set a goal. I'm gonna set a goal with 10 ways to obliterate it, and then make sure I did at least all of those 10 things 10 different times. There's a different level of intensity. Imagine if you had two of those people in your organization that thought like that. What would be the difference? It would be like world domination, but the nice version on your behalf. It would make your family so rich you would have no clue what to do with the money. when I started tapping into that level of influence, I had to pull back. I said, wait, hold on, family. This is a lot bigger than network marketing. What do we really want out of life? Turned into some really cool connections like Megan here. It turned into a lot bigger things. A lot of you guys, you can use these skills in real life. So, yeah, use these skills, use these these tools. It's all about how you think, right? So it's about how you see things. If you see things as I can conquer the world, then you'll conquer the world. If you see things as, oh my goodness, they're so much bigger than me. I heard I heard somebody say, I heard somebody say, we want your obstacles to be very small. And we want you in your head to be a giant. And that's the key. Don't let this world make you feel small because of your small business. No, no. It's not little old you. It's you and the army who backs you. I know when we're working alone, but are you really? You're not alone. Carry the army with you as you work and focus in on a few things. So what we aimed at was invitations, offers, and presentations. So the difference between a presentation and an offer is, so a lot of times when I would go into companies, if you're offering the same thing as everyone else, you look like everyone else, you sound like everybody else. I would come in with an army of gifts, the army of my own stuff. People would join me in companies just because they knew I had more than the competition, like that. And I would always over prepare like that. And you should be. You don't have to do that immediately though. When you're in the beginning phases, just listen to your leaders because they've already pretty much brought everything that you have. But as you begin to grow, and when I mean grow, like your team's in the hundreds, if you feel like there's something that makes you unique, like, hey, I did a training for my team last week, that should definitely be included in the upfront offer because it just makes you a more logical candidate. If I choose candidate one, I get two things or no things. I choose candidate two, I get 20 things. That I was the guy with 20, right? So always bring more to the table. Leave the table with more than you came to it with. That was, it wasn't really a trick, but like that's how I always worked. If I'm gonna go to a place where they talk to you, they're like, right? Could you imagine making a place worse off? You want to be the person where when they talk to you, they're like, even more excited. I'm even more powerful because I talked to that person. Powerful people are powerful intentionally. They didn't get like that randomly. They crafted themselves into that the same exact way you can. And so key number six was just making sure that everything was systematic, simple, predictable, duplicatable. Trust me when I tell you I got a PhD in a bunch of stuff that is complicated and not effective, right? You can have the most complicated whiz bang, and if nobody understands it, nobody can explain it. It's too complicated. No one's going to want to do it. So what do? You make it breadcrumb simple. You break it down to its most 4% characteristic. 4% of anything is worth 96% of anything. So if you're looking at how a house is built, 4% of the actual uh, building blocks are the ones that matter to the structure of the house. If you're reading a book, 4% of the content is actually 80%. I mean, the other 96% is filler. So 4% is really the majority. So you want to look for the 4% in anything. Just use that. It's enough. When you're talking to a sale and closing a deal, there's two things: exposure, exchange. Everything else is filler in the conversation, isn't it? Yeah, you can worry about them liking you and all that, or you can worry about them getting what they want, which is the only reason they're doing it. Because humans are selfish rascals, most people, but we're learning to evolve. We're genuinely good, but some people they just want what they want. So just give them what they want. Give them what they want. Tell them what they need later. Give them what they want. What they don't want your program. They want, I want to retire grandma. They want new car by Thursday. Anything is possible. Don't limit them because of your belief, right? Anything is possible. Anything can change at any moment. Give them what they want and help, and give them a realistic way to get it too. If they can see themselves getting what they want with you realistically, they're going to give you whatever you want because they want what they want. Simple. When you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want. So if you're able to share with people, hey, I have what you want, I can help you get what you want, which is really is it's gonna create growth, but like the explosive kind. So the next thing is definitely making the barriers lower. So what do I mean by that? So if I was launching a team, I would launch it like a military campaign. You know, when people play like Call of Duty and stuff, and parents have been telling us forever long, that stuff is a waste of time. Strategy. A lot of people go into business with no strategy. You think the military in real life, if they had no strategy, that you'd still be here safe? No. Strategy. If I have a team of 20 people, right? I'm sending in 5 people because I don't want the other 15 to get discouraged. And I'm gonna send them in like this. Hey, look, I want you to go out there to find out what obstacles you're going to encounter. Then come back and bring us the obstacles, and we're going to tell you how to overcome them. You might not even have the answer, but by the time you see the obstacles that they encounter, you already have a plan of preparation. Okay, this way didn't work. Let's try it this way. They're going to come back. They're like, okay, we ran into these obstacles. You're like, check. This one's off the list, and everyone's excited because they launched their first campaign. They did something, it didn't work. Cool. Now you're Thomas Edison. You found out 10,000 ways that did not work. That's okay. Because, you know, that information can be used as leverage. This is important. A lot of people don't know how to turn losses into lessons, then lessons into leverage. Leverage means it's a tool that you can use to fight back. Sometimes we barely make it to turn losses into lessons, as in, did I look back at my perceived loss and question, why did that not go the way I wanted to? Did I do it wrong? Is my process wrong? Because we'll just take one failure and be like, the world is against me, and then just like go into a ball. And all we needed to do was like, oh, let me try it another way. Oh, I don't suck as a person. I'm gaining emotional intelligence. Oh, I'm not that bad at this. I just haven't learned a few quotes, you know? So, whatever the barrier is, especially when you're building in team settings, you want to make the barriers lower. How do you do that? You come up with ways to overcome them. So, for example, by using Megan's viral organic lead generation strategies, now you get people who come to you. Beautiful. Just let's just eliminate rejection altogether, right? And you use the patterns from the things that you do to kind of determine what you do next. So, for example, I go to Facebook, I talk about business, I get 0 likes or very few. No worries. I go to Facebook, I talk about non-business, more people are social. Check. Let's be social on social media. I go on Facebook, I make a social post, people are talking to me, I'm in their inbox talking about the social post, and the conversation switches. And where are you at in life and where do you want to be? And it's just like, wow, I turned a loss into a lesson, which the lesson is people want to be social. They don't want to hear about your company right away. Okay, cool. Now I'm in a conversation, and that's going to be my leverage. So lowering the barriers, right? You want to do when once you find something that works, figure out how to make it work easier, quicker, faster. Once you figure out how to make $1, figure out how to make more dollars quicker, easy, faster. And systematic repetition, it's your repetitions that become your reputation. What you do repeatedly, we are what we repeatedly do. That's what you're going to be known for. So repeat what works and ditch what doesn't. And these are the keys. So we have number 8, just track. A lot of times people, don't track their own success. They're like, but I tried everything. I remember listening to Tony Robbins one time, and somebody told Tony that he tried everything, and Tony said, no, you didn't, because if you did, you would have found the answer already. The easiest way to grow is to track. You want to see if you're really losing weight? Track. You want to see if your money's growing? Track. You want to see how much time you're wasting during the day? Track. You want to see how much time you're mean to your people when you shouldn't be? Track. Everything. Easiest way is just turn on a camera and documentation and just for you. The cool thing about doing it that way is you get to create content and a before and after story. My before and after story has probably generated me a lot, and also a lot of leads, a lot of attention just from having a before and after story. So if you're gonna be rich anyway, you might as well record this place because you're never gonna be here again. You're gonna be so rich. You're gonna wish you recorded this time. And you're like, but I'm not a celebrity yet. Yes, you are. In your head, you have to tell yourself, I'm already it. And when you are truly already it, you a lot of you think you have to make it to become it. No, you have to decide to become it, then embody it every single day. It's not fake it until you make it. It's project it until you perfect it. All right. I'm gonna slow down. Just take a pause. Is everybody good? Is everybody good?
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not, like this is the warm up. But there'll be more. There'll be other days. I'm going slow. This is like slow for me. But the good news is it's recorded. And I want you guys to know I mean this stuff. And I've lived this stuff and I've tested this stuff for you. So you don't necessarily have to worry about, is this going to work? I'm telling you it does. So many gems. I know, right? It's like a treasure house. And look, and a lot of people don't realize, right? These gems, these keys, they come from experience. Where does experience come from? Bad decisions. So they help you make good decisions, but they came from bad decisions, which came from bad experiences, which now produce a good experience. So each key is technically it's a scar. They feel it as a as a learning thing. You know, we got those scars as veterans to give to everybody else to make you guys' lives a whole lot easier. Track everything. Your future self's gonna thank you. And also when you're tracking things, you get to say to people, hey, this is what I did last week. This is where I'm at this week. This is what I did yesterday. And this is where I'm at today. And honestly, that's the most powerful thing you can do is show people progress. Because what's everybody's subconscious thing? Is this gonna work for me? And then they're gonna be like, I'll do it when it works for you. And I don't like those kinds of people. They really irk my nerves. Those people are the worst people. The people who have faith, they're like, I'm going into battle head first crazy with you. They're probably gonna be a stranger. Go find that stranger and align with them and be cool to them. That's going to be your battle buddy throughout the rest of the time. Build a lot of those connections. All right. Key number 9. So goal driven. So so a lot of people don't really know how to set goals. I'm going to give you an analogy. So most people set a goal like this. I'm going to Walmart. That's their goal. I'm not happy and grateful now that I'm going to Walmart. And that's cool. And here's how I look at it. A goal is a destiny. What is a destiny? A destiny is a destination. What is a destination? It's somewhere that you're heading to in the now. You can't say that Walmart's your destination when you haven't even got on the road yet. You guys heard what I said. If you're not on the road driving, how is Walmart your destination? No, it's not. It's a wish. The goal doesn't become a goal until you start driving, until you hit the road, until you hit the gas. Okay. So that's what a destination is. So if I'm driving towards 10,000 a month, 100,000 a month, $1 million a month, I need to be tracking my steps. I need to be tracking my mileage the same way, well, the car tracks my mileage. And in the GPS, you don't worry about the road to success because there's many roads. You can always get off the main road, take the slow road, get on the high road. And a lot of times you're going to end up in the wrong neighborhood and have to turn around. That's cool. At least you're on the road. It's better than thinking about driving. It's better than talking about driving. Drive. And the best way to know if you're actually driving is the completion of your tasks. They're kind of like the blocks and lanes and milestones. So it's like, imagine you're driving yourself through life and you're like, next stop, 6-figure lane, next stop, 5-figure lane. And imagine if every single mini milestone, like next stop, talk to 10 people about business, next stop, talk to 100 people about business, next stop, talk to 1,000 people about business, next stop, talk to 10,000 people about business. There's no way you're hitting 10,000 conversations and not making some money. Absolutely not. The laws of averages will not allow it. Go ahead and type in the number one if you find that comforting that the law of averages exists. If I just talk to a dozen people, right? If I talk to, I might not know how to recruit one, but I can talk to 10 people and I can get one. I can talk to 20 people and I can get two because I'm using the law of averages. That's the secret. Numbers. You don't have to be good. You have to know how to count. And that's good news. Learn to count. That was one. Network marketing back in the old days, they used to tell us if you're making $500 per sale and you talk to 10 people and it took 9 people, 9 no's to get to one yes, then every last one of those no's paid you $50. And that used to make the network marketing OGs so excited. They would go to their prospects with the posture of, hey, I don't care what you're going to do. I just need to know what your decision is. I just need a yes or no because this decision is paying me too. They're like, what? How is it paying you? Because it's giving you an experience. You're learning from it. You also know who you don't want to approach next. You're finding your best target. You might even find some new, how to explain this, new contacts indirectly through that person. So I don't agree with this terminology, but what they used to say is every dud knows a stud. I don't believe in calling people duds, but why not every bud knows a stud, right? So every bud knows a stud and they're going to be buddies. Hey, I'm not into that, but my friend might be. Cool. Thanks for the conversation. And you're like climbing through networks. You might find one person who has influence and they're going to light your business on fire. And that's happening. Type in the number one if you're claiming it. One of you guys is going to strike gold. You're going to find somebody who was at the right time. They're going to say, I was just thinking about something. I was ready and you caught me at the right time. They're going to say that to you. I've been fortunate enough in this industry to strike gold a few times, but before I ever did, I had to be the person I was looking for. I had to ask myself, would you follow you? And so that gets me to the next part of that question. How do I become the type of person that I would follow? I learned to complete tasks, whether my sponsor, upline, crossline, sideline, buddies looking or not. It's just me and God in front of the computer and all these people ready to rock. I'm just saying. And me in front of all of y'all holding this mic ready to drop. Okay. No, I'm done. But seriously, just get completed, get complete, get used to the habit of completion, become slaves to good habits. That's a crazy thing to say. Think about a slave. You're chained to something. I want you to chain yourself to your future wealthy habits. And your inner whoever you have become up until this point is going to be screaming like, no, I want to stay the same. And you're going to say, subconscious mind, I agree with you, but we got goals to hit. We got places to go. We got things to buy. We got people to stunt on. We got to do. Okay. And you be nice to yourself and be kind and say, okay, this day I procrastinated for 10 hours. This time it was 8. That's progress. Now make it 6, then 4, then 2, then 1. Then now you're in the positive and never procrastinated at all. In fact, I'm ahead. In fact, I woke up earlier. In fact, I'm on my stuff. In fact, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. every single day because I'm getting more done before most people wake up. There's levels. Walk before you can run, right? But get used to completing and complete the most important things and get your people used to completing. This is how you hit goals. This is how you build empires. And in the context of building a business, it's always on to the next exposure. It's always on to the next presentation of offer. It's also on to the next asset exchange, which is just them signing up. That's all that means. It's always on to the next, and learn the power of now, because you don't want to be the person that, I mean, the future technically doesn't exist. The time has been now for as long as you've been alive. Boom. Let it sink in. The time has never been the future. It's always been right now since the moment you got here. True story. So if the time has always been now, when's the best time to do it? Now, I know it's cheesy, but if you use your nows, you can craft your later. Whew. And that is the secret to life. That I hate when they say, "Oh, everybody has the same amount of time in a day." Not really, not really, because your time may, have a little bit more emotionally taxing things. So your only advantage isn't the actual time; it's how you use the now. It's not about the time. And then if you learn to create more time and then you're effective in the now, nothing will ever stop you ever. And what is effective? Just anything that works, anything that gets you closer to your goal. So that's key number 9. Number 10, focus on wide growth, then deep growth, then exponential growth. So get your core cheerleaders, get your operators, get your battle buddies. Back in the day, I used to say, I shall find my five. I didn't realize back then I was looking for what we now call soul tribe. What is soul tribe? It's the person that everything they say to you is music to your ears. It's the person where you could talk to them for 1,000 hours and never get tired, not feel drained. It's the person who is just a great compatible match for you. Like, for real, I'll give you guys a good example. I have a 19-year-old protege. All this guy does is listen. Like, for real, sometimes it's scary. He'll listen to me because I record a lot of content, right? He'll listen to me for 6 hours in a row, and I'm thinking he's skipping a beat, and I'm like, "You there?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh my goodness," it scared me. Like, his focus and attention and drive scared me. Like, how in the world? I'm like, "Bro, you're the best listener in mankind. Like, can we write you a check for $100,000 and give you a palace because you deserve it?" I was able to get so many ideas out of my head. But what was more impressive is because he was listening to me and really mentally digesting it and didn't think he knew everything. And really my conversation to him was, hey, did you know there's some dangerous ways out there? Don't go that way, go this way. Here's why you don't want to deal with mentors who do this, and this. And here's why we're doing this, and this, and that. And this is what happened to me, and you don't have to go that way. And he was like, cool. He attached himself to my hip, never left ever since. And that's a real teammate. That's a teammate in real life. I don't build teams over the internet. I build real life connections that survive if the internet goes down or not. That's the difference. Find your real team. And this is important to note too. When you're on a team, not everyone should play the same role. If you really want to be efficient, at the beginning for practice, let's do it. But after a while, after I started building dynasties instead of just teams, I thought about this. I said, wow, this person is a point guard. This person knows how to dunk. This person is a great passer. And that person has handles that can make, Steph Curry or Allen Iverson get scared. So why am I putting everybody at point guard? Why does everybody have the same? No, no, no. You invite, you present, you welcome everybody, you create the visuals, you keep me pumped up so that we're all good. And me, I serve all of you. What do you need? And it was just like everybody knew what to do. So as long as everybody was playing their role, it was always harmony, it was always synergy. That's how you build a team. When everybody is being forced into not necessarily their best strength, so I'm sure some people can push themselves to do it, but you don't necessarily have to. Find somebody you can serve them. I'll do this for you if you do that for me. Okay, you do my recruiting, I'll do your closing. You do the invitations, or you come up with good scripts. So you do that, I'll go make the design. And that's like, and then now what happens is people get creative. They just start finding cool stuff to do. they start you'll see the most creativity out of that place. It's almost like a game. And once you find the core operating team, then what do? You make those teams bigger. I found my 5, I found my 10. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to take my 5, take my 10, and I'm going to get more people like them. My job is I'm telling my 10, look, 10, we're going to replace you. That's a different level of conversation. What? Yeah, like we're going to get you out of that role so you can help us look after everybody. And then it's like everyone is learning the best from everyone. And then you have armies of people to replace a role. Now everybody gets to grow. So that's your team going deep. So you went wide. I found my first 5 or 10. I got them trained up, listening or learning at the same time and pace as me. Everyone's growing together. We're going to go deep, meaning everyone's going to have a replacement. Then we're going to go exponential. That means we attack every place known to man: social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. So I would literally do these things. I guess before I didn't know consciously what I was doing, but I would do these things until my teams ended up large in real life, you know, just to kind of show you guys like we built teams in real life. It wasn't just about make teams, make plans with your teammates. Like, look, when we get to this level of business, and then have people on the rooftop staring at you, you know, nobody, I was gonna say no one had a frown, but she was like, oh, but nobody had a frown. These were people that were in our real communities. Like my man over here, like, what in the heck? And that's how we would do it. We would have fun. What's $20,000 when you had 20 business partners who drop 1,000? That's nothing. Like we're over here building companies and stuff, and it's mere practice for building nations and dynasties because the world is gonna need it. Clueless. But I want you guys to know, like, if you want that destiny, grab it. I'm just kind of showing you that it's possible. So moving forward, back to building dynasties, right? Tap rooting. So one of the things you can do to speed process up before you even go into a network. I used to not understand industries. You know, people used to say things like, that's a $500 million industry. I didn't know why they did that because they were thinking, I want to know how big the industry is before I go into it, not after. So I don't know. Let's see. I wanted to see in this industry name list, industry name size, right? I want to see how big an industry is, or maybe if you're in one industry like health, wealth, and relationships are the biggest ones. In wealth, there's real estate, there's crypto, there's this and that. I remember looking at network marketing industry numbers. So some people keep track of this stuff. It's good to know. Imagine having a conversation and you're like, yeah, you know, the football industry is only 9 billion, but the music industry is 15 billion. They're like, oh, this guy knows their stuff. You saw it on the quote yesterday. Cheat codes, shortcuts, right? Network marketing being $178 billion industry. That's how much money is available to be in your pocket. If you get good at the game, what is the game? Expose and exchange. And so before you start tap rooting, use that same logic. How big is the pool that I'm about to invade? Because what's most people's um, methodology of thought? They're usually like, I don't know who to talk to. What if you just started from knowing how many people are in your industry or in your list or in your room? Nobody says, oh, let me get on social media and one post at a time, I'm going to make it. It's going to take you too long. And you're going to make it doing it that way. Don't get it twisted. I did. But that's way too long. Go start with the audience. Like, look, I found a friend. That friend has a radio station. That radio station has 40,000 listeners. Cool. We're tapping into 4,000 of them. Set a goal. Go after the audience. I'm going to church. The church has 120 people, and then after church, usually about 50 people stay in the building. Everyone else goes home. Cool. I'm going to the 50 people after church. Like, think of it like that. Now on social media, it's when this person talks, she gets 50 likes per live. So I'm gonna go do a joint talk with her about why finances are so important, pre-discuss the deals, and maybe tell her, hey, if somebody joins my business after this, I'm gonna pay you from that. Are we cool? She's gonna say, yeah. That might be a private lead source. She might not even have to share that with anybody else. She might have a crazy ton of followers, and you're just putting yourself out there in front of where the people already are. And the last but most important key, I'm not selling you squat. I'm bringing your attention to the alligator that already has you by the legs and is about to drag you into the swamp of the abyss. Okay, so I'm gonna say it again. I'm not convincing you. Here's the thing. Now that I have your attention, you're in danger, and do you want saving or not? And that's the attitude. Because I'm totally okay with walking away and letting you think you don't have financial cancer, or we can get you looking financially healthy, get you off the stretcher, got you shaking your legs, maybe you're eating right, and now you can finally have a healthy financial life. Or you can keep your bank account on life support. It's tough, ain't it? Maybe I'm a guy. I don't know. Maybe that's too forward. But at least if you're not gonna say it like that, think that in the back of your head, because that's gonna give you the confidence to know you're not selling from your heels. I'm not selling from my heels. What do I mean by that? Going into a market like, hey guys, I have this thing to offer. No, you have the cure to their financial cancer. You have the cure to their future, this, that, and the fifth. You have the cure to them getting off their job. Why are you the one that's scared? They should be intimidated by you the same way that, they look at a celebrity on stage. The way that people look at Beyonce, that's how they should look at you. So the last thing I'm going to say is focus on you, because you're the most important person in your life, and you got this. That's my time.
Spencer got excited about that alligator. You guys, how much value was that? Let's see some fire in the chats. I am so happy and grateful that I showed up to my commitment today, because God sure brought a wealth of knowledge. And we are going to have this recording uploaded to the YouTube channel, you guys. Wasn't that absolutely amazing? Let's give a shout out to King Key for being a guest here tonight and bringing the keys, bringing the truth. We have been building together for years now. And sometimes it's like, people like to talk the talk. They like to jump and hype and all the things, but very rarely do you come across a group of leaders that are willing to slow down and show you the true frameworks, the true keys to building wealth, the true keys to the ecosystems, right? And so now you have insight and access to ways to not only elevate your exposure, right? Because we have low level exposures, but you just got a high level exposure. And now it's time for an energetic exchange. So I want to say thank you so much, King Key, for coming and jumping in here and sharing first of many presentations. Guys, drop an 888 in the chat if you guys want Jermaine to come back again and share with you guys throughout the 90-day run. Drop an 888 if you would like to come have Jermaine come back again. Okay, so really quick, I wanted to give you guys an update. Jermaine, can you shoot me back host really quick?
Absolutely.
Thank you, King. Spencer, you okay?
I just fell on my face.
Hold on, y'all. My kid's upside down in a crack. You okay?
Yeah, I just fell on my face.
Aw. Y'all's nephew. Someone come get your nephew. Oh my goodness. All right.
Oh. Do I
Okay.
have any bruises on my face?
No, you're fine, honey. But you gotta stop talking till I'm done with this meeting. You guys, momming ain't easy. Okay, I'm gonna give myself host on my other phone.
Respect, though, respect.
It is what it is, right, guys? We have to
Yes.
do what we gotta do. And you know what? Jermaine has made some observations over me, right, over the last few years as we've grown together, being friends and building businesses side by side. And one thing about having Spencer is like, everything that I've done from the day he was like literally 6 months old has been side by side with me building something. I was always building something. And so my son's development he's extremely articulate. He's extremely in tune, but I also just don't stop being a mom, to cater to a network of people, and people are like blown away from that. And I'm like, no, dude, like I'm doing this because of my child. Right. And so if you guys have little kids playing in the background right now, drop some love in the chat and let us know that you've got a family that you're fighting for, because everything that I do is for my son. And why would I stop, or why would I feel, the need to suppress what real life with him looks like? That's the privilege of being able to work from home. So thank you guys for always understanding that, but it's also my privilege. So I wanted to show you guys. So this is the 90-day power play community. We're just getting this set up. We already have 67 members. Welcome everyone, guys. Welcome everybody in the chat. Like say welcome, welcome, welcome. So welcome all the new people. Welcome to the other teams that are joining us, that are choosing to walk beside us. And I'm going to walk through the Facebook group as we're getting it set up. You guys are going to see more and more content being put in here. I don't know why there we go. Okay, so I just updated some content. And this is what you guys literally like. I talk about daily method of operations, your DMOs and your IPAs every single day. And I want to give you guys some basic tasks to add to your business that are just going to skyrocket your business. And I'm going to prove to you why you should take my advice in a second. Okay. But for right now, I'm going to read through this list. This is in the Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, make sure that you join the Facebook community. Someone go ahead and drop the link to the Facebook group in the chat while I read these. Okay. So your daily method of operations. Okay. What are you willing to do consistently to unlock your success with LXP? Show up to the team chat daily. Now, this is huge. Whether it's the Telegram chat or the Facebook group chat, you guys need to be active in the Facebook chat. Say good morning every single day. Okay. When you guys wake up, come to the group chat, say good morning. Why? Because when you stay tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, you create a different type of reality. It's so easy to fall off and feel isolated on an island if you're not even showing up for yourself. Okay. So check in with the team. You're not forgotten. You have not fallen off. Just go drop some fire in whatever team chat you're in right now. Okay. Show up and get excited. Okay, show up and get excited right now. Next thing is posting the ATM group once a week. So Monique and myself are going to be doing a training this week on ATM, which stands for add tag message. We talked about the bank code, learning how to take every lead to the bank. And now we're going to teach you how to have your Facebook community print money, literally, with the ATM group. The ATM group is all testimonies. It's all you guys sharing. Even if you got a $22 ding, you guys, that is something to celebrate for. If your bot traded up your account 35% in 30 days, that is something to celebrate for. If you upgraded and you unlocked level 5, that is a reason to celebrate. So post in the ATM group at least once a week, okay? Allot 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday, for your LXP Power Hour. Create one group chat per day. So for me, I am always inviting, presenting, closing, and doing follow-up. And so for me personally, when I'm reaching out to people, I wake up every day and I'm going to change a life today. That's how I wake up. I literally wake up and I'm going to change a life today. And I don't stop until I've got at least one person across the threshold, in contact with one of my leadership team. Okay. Introduce 2 new people to the ATM group per day. And so you could be in a Facebook community, and during your power hour, you could be posting on your timeline. You could be in a niche specific Facebook group like Jermaine was talking about, and you can post in the comments something about your opportunity and get people in front of the information in that ATM community for our prospects. All right. Commit to 1 weekly team training. You guys, when you come to a meeting like tonight, you get your cup filled up. Whose cup is filled up right now? I want to see some water splashing in the chat. Okay. When you come to a meeting like today, your cup gets filled up. And so it's so easy sometimes for us to get lost in the sauce if we're showing up every day for work, or we're going every day with our children and we're not plugging in and getting our cup filled up. And of course it's going to feel overwhelming if you're missing 1 or 2 meetings. Make it a point, make it a priority to show up at least once a week and watch your life change over the next 90 days. Okay. Commit to 1 prospecting Zoom per week. Now, the team calls in a prospecting Zoom usually have 2 different type of energies. And so a prospecting Zoom is a lot more high energy. It's a lot more straight to the point. And let me tell you something, when I show up to a prospecting Zoom, I'm ready to sign up all over again. Okay. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so in love with this platform. I'm so in love with the financial literacy that we're learning as a collective. And I want to encourage you guys to show up for these meetings. Okay. Post 1 viral status a day. So I'm going to be teaching you guys something called the ripple effect. I want you to write the ripple effect in the chat. The ripple effect is how I specialize in viral organic lead generation. Okay. So I'm going to get on another Facebook tab really quick. And I want to show you guys like, like actually who I am, because you guys can see my Facebook and I talk to you and I show up and I just want to love you. And I like to hide. But ultimately at the end of the day, I'm kind of a genius at when it comes to attracting people. And what I learned is that, people remember how you make them feel. And so over the last 7 years, I literally have compiled a list of content that holds a certain vibrational frequency. That frequency is of resonance, it's of relation. And over the last 2 weeks, I've been working on unlocking my public figure page. And I can show you guys how viral we are right now. And I only have 10,000 people on here. Okay, but I'm gonna show you guys something, because this is the reality of what the kind of value that you're going to be getting from me personally. Like, this is what I'm bringing to the table. You know, you heard what Mr. Key shared today. This is what I'm bringing to the table. It does not matter who you are, what your background is, whether you are a professional recruiter, team builder, or you are somebody who is just getting started and wants to learn the information. And that's all you want to do. You have the opportunity to create success here and duplication in this matrix. And so as soon as this is going to load, I'm going to show you guys a little bit about what I do every day. And I can guarantee you, like, I can probably even check in my notifications right now and see that some of my content is viral. 1 second, guys. My internet out here in the middle of nowhere is like the absolute worst. It's like so bad. Oh, look, 316, 46 comments. There we go. You're laughing at me, and it's literally like my never-ending story. The one thing about me is I'm never gonna have good service because I'm always somewhere in nature, because I can't stand the city for too long, you guys. That's literally gonna be me for the rest of my life. So I want to encourage you guys, if my internet would ever start working. Like, I do insane campaigns. And so in that process, when I tell you that I have these statuses that I've compiled down over the last 7 years, that when you post them, they unlock a reaction in people. And I have posts that have reached over 450,000 people in just a couple days on my social media platforms. And the reason it does it consistently is because I've isolated who I am, right? And then I've locked that person down, and that person I've learned how to duplicate. And I have a framework and an outline that I'm going to show you guys how to do that same thing. So I'm going to let this tab load while I finish up these. So share 2 interactive action posts per week. So you can go on Pinterest. You can find by searching on Pinterest, like interaction posts. And you guys, one of the favorite and most common interaction posts is like toilet paper over or under, right? When you do things like that, your Facebook friends, it fixes your algorithm, because people are commenting like crazy. People will do things like, you know, a giveaway. They may give away a purse or a freaking candy bar, who knows, and so a box of Girl Scout cookies. Like, I would participate in a giveaway for Girl Scout cookies, right? And you would be like, first person that I say scout after girl, you comment girl, I'll say scout, and then that person wins a box of Girl Scout cookies. So you can get sometimes up to 10,000 comments on these things. And what that does is it boosts you back up in the algorithm. So the ripple effect is where I teach you how to do unlimited lead generation. You're going to get my list of viral statuses. There's over 700 statuses. You guys can pick one a day. And I'll show you guys how viral that content is, whether it works tonight or I can make it one in a separate presentation. Post a picture of yourself with a story per week. Now, this is another thing I was trying to show you guys. My page still does not want to show up the way that it should. Okay, here we go. Okay, so my page people reached is 865,000. This is from February 1st to February 28th. So this is people reached. I do not use paid traffic. Post engagement, this is mean people like lives that have actually touched my content. 141,000 different lives in 14 days, you guys. Okay, 1,000 new page likes, absolutely free. I'm up 38,000%. Okay, so I may not like come on here and be like super professional and talk my crap and, you know, whatever, but like literally every single day my content is performing, and I can show you guys that it's performing. There are people in this chat right now who have used my statuses for lead generation. And so I want you guys to know that like the leaders that are heading up this operation, we're actually going to bring you things that we created. Why? Because I'm ready to go have more kids. This is what I say every single time. Cousin Monroe is ready to go have more kids. I'm ready to retire. I'm only 27, but I'm ready to go be a mom. I've been doing this entrepreneur thing for about 7 years, and I need to create masters. Me and Jermaine, we call them kingdom case studies. Now I need to know who in the chat wants to become one of our kingdom case studies. I need to know, say, I am going to be a kingdom case study, and I'm going to teach you everything that I know. Monique Martinez is going to teach you everything that she knows. Jermaine Taylor, Christy Jensen, Selena is Action Jackson. She's going to take everything that she knows and infuse it into your life over the next 90 days. And I need to know who is going to sign up 10 toes down and become a kingdom case study. Okay, I need to know. Now, if you are new to this family, and this is the first time that you have ever seen our names, our faces, our voices, and you're like, what the heck is going on here? I want you to get back to the person who invited you right now and ask them how you can get involved. I want you to reach out to the person who invited you this call right now, and I want you to ask them how you can get involved with what we've got going on. Because right now is day one. Right now, you guys, I'm talking to you like business partners. You didn't come here tonight to hear no sales pitch. Do you guys feel sold too, or do you feel like your cup got filled up? Okay. I didn't call you here for a sales pitch. I called you here for an opportunity to collaborate and become mine and the people of the caliber of Jermaine and Monique and Christy Jensen, the leaders that you have formulating this challenge for you. And we're asking you to come alongside us, right? We are the first in the world in this platform, the first in the world. This opportunity is still in beta. We get the bot first in the world coming up in just a couple days, you guys. Like, that is our reality. We are positioned right on time. And so I want you guys to understand like the caliber and the level that you have just unlocked just by following whoever invited you to this link, to this call tonight. And I want you to understand that now is the time to get involved and get in your groove of not only getting involved in the information, but get involved in distributing this opportunity, not because you need to be some master recruiter, but because it is time for us to, as a society, when you have awareness of something that is bigger and something that is better for you and your family, right? You have the opportunity and the obligation to do something about it. Now, Jermaine, I was talking about, just now I was talking about you guys need to post a story with a picture, right? And so this is one of my stories. And this is my story that has made me millions of dollars. This is what we call copy. Okay, sis today woke me all the way up. I made $15,700 in 7 days. Logically, it took me 30 days to get in position, execute in about 15 days of this strategy. Don't follow people who don't have receipts. Don't follow people who can't show you how they got there. I remember being homeless with $73 in my pocket, sleeping on my son's grandma's couch, drowning in shame. I had just left my son's abusive father, you guys. If I can't get myself up to the top, if I can get myself up to the top, so can you, sis. So like I said, impress me. Let me show you how we're going to make $100K a month humbly with systems and a blueprint. You can ask me how. Let me show you. Cap don't pay bills, strategy and collective effort does. Wealthy woman taking over. I already told God if I wasn't coming if I couldn't bring my queens with me. You are royalty, crowns up. Type I'm in if you're joining me the next 6 months as we launch the new dynasty of prosperity and abundance. Okay, you guys, this is my name right there, Megan Wooldridge. This is one payment of $13,510. This is another payment that I got that same day of $12,216. Guys, this is mine. This is the withdrawal straight to my account. Okay, you guys, like literally 694 people. Show me. One of those persons, Leila Morgan, she's on this call right now. You guys, she's on the call right now. That's real life proof of who I am and what I can do, right? And I just want to give you the gift. So please, thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up today. Let us pour into you over the next 90 days, guys. Make sure that you get involved by getting plugged into the Facebook community. Make sure that you get yourself into a place and position to where you're showing up to every call. I'm not going to beg you, right? I can walk with my walkers. I can run with my runners. I can sprint with my sprinters, but I'm not going to sit with my sitters. I am not going to slow down for nothing. I will not let down Monique. I will not let down Christy. I will not let down Pierre. I will not let down Mark. I'm going to show up every single day running, and I'm going to make sure that every single one of you has 100% of me, because this is what I'm committed to. This is what I'm paid paying my attention to, right? I'm donating moments of my life to build this empire for my child who is sitting here right here while I'm sitting here talking to you. And I'm dedicating hours of his life, of my life, to build this. And I want to invite you guys now to commit, right? I want you to type, I commit to the next 90 days with me. Welcome to the 90-day power play. Today, we're just getting started. You guys plug into your income producing activities. Make sure you join the Facebook community I just dropped in the chat. Drop Mr. Key some love if you guys enjoyed this call. And I'm going to give you one, you guys already know the drill, okay? You already know the drill. You're going to head on over to my Facebook page. You're going to head on over to my Facebook page. I'm writing the status right now. You're going to type Megan Moreau. And you're going to comment on this status. Because we are officially launched the 90-day power play. You guys are going to see me go live in the group at noon tomorrow. So make sure that you go into the Facebook community and you turn the notifications on so you don't miss that. I'm going to be going into a step-by-step instructions of how this event's going to go. But the first things first is you guys work. This week is all about clean up, clean up, clean up. Everybody do your share. Get your timelines cleaned up. Delete people who know you from past lives. Delete people who have nothing positive to say about the train to transition, and get yourself into communities. These trainings, the vocabulary list, everything about your self-wealth blueprint is going to be uploaded in the morning tomorrow when I do the live training. So excited to see you guys on the other side of the 90-day power play. Here is the run to 10,000 households. And here we go, you guys. We are going to be launching to 10,000 households starting right now. Let's run. I'm so excited. Let me know who's excited in the chat. We're going to go ahead and wrap this call up and get this uploaded to YouTube. I want to see some love in the chat. I want to see some fire in the chat, and head on over to my Facebook page right now, you guys, and go comment on that status. And let's show the world how excited we are. Thank you so much, Jermaine Taylor, for coming and sharing with us tonight. It was beyond valuable. I'm so happy and grateful for y'all. And we're going to keep this going. Does anybody have anything to share? Does anybody have anything to share? Actually, let's do that because we didn't do question and answers last time. And I just want to open it up to you guys for a second. Not a soul, not a soul, not a soul. All right, guys, thank you so much for showing up. I'm going to go ahead and end the call. Thank you, everybody. And we will talk on Thursday at 7 p.m. You guys have such a good night. Blessings, honor. Thank you. And we will talk soon, family. Goodbye.